Today we continue on in Psalm 119, verses 54 through 56. And to look at this passage, when you look at verse 56 first, where the psalmist says, "This is my practice. I obey the word of God." It's just what I do. He gives us some insight as to how he does that in verses 54 and 55. In verse 54, he says, "Your word is the theme of my song, no matter where I'm at." And what he's saying is, I'm filtering out all the music in my life that doesn't build me up, doesn't draw me closer to Christ. Now, does that mean we sit around and listen to hymns all day? No. We find music that's uplifting, that's encouraging, that draws us closer to Christ. And sometimes that's worshipful music, and sometimes it's just fun music. Sometimes it's music that just puts us in a better mood. And so what he does is he says, I want always to have music in my ears that's going to draw me to Christ. We all get songs that are stuck in our mind. And he says, if I'm going to have something rattle around in my mind, it's going to be something that's going to draw me closer to God. Here's the real truth. What comes in here goes to here. It goes to our mind, our heart. And what's in our heart comes out here in our mouth and comes out in the things we do. You want to live a life closer to Christ? Guard what goes in right here. And then secondly, and this is a little important, he says that at night he thinks about the Lord. He says, at night, Lord, you're my thought. And what he's saying there is, when we have nothing to think about, when we're just kind of relaxing, just kind of chilling out, he's not going to let his mind go to the gutter. In 2 Corinthians 10:5, we're told that we have the ability to bring every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. In other words, we have the ability to say, I'm not thinking about that, I'm going to captivate that thought, and I'm going to make that thought something that's going to draw me to Christ. I'm not going to let my mind wander wherever it wants to. If you do, it can wander in some places that just aren't good. And so he says, I captivate my mind, and I make it my prisoner, and my mind thinks about what I want to think about. We have a choice to do that. Doing these two things makes it where then we can say, you know what, I'm just obedient. It's what I do. I do that because I've filtered the music I listen to, and I do that because I've filtered the thoughts that I think. Challenge for you today. Filter your music, filter your thoughts. It'll draw you closer to Christ. Want to read the whole devotional? Go to the link at the bottom of the page, and we'll see you tomorrow.